Hello, this is Doug Tidwell. I was recently sitting in my corner office admiring the scenery through my floor-to-ceiling windows when it occurred to me it was high time we updated the IBM Cloud intro video. So here we are. Over the next several minutes, I'll show you how easy it is to build and host an application on the web. I encourage you to follow along. If you have an IBM Cloud account already, go ahead and sign in. If you don't, you can get a free non-expiring IBM Cloud Lite account at this URL. No credit card is required. No salesman will come to your door. I encourage you to get an account and follow along. There are three things you'll do in this video. 1, you'll create an application. 2, you'll create a continuous delivery tool chain for it. And C, you'll add a NoSQL database service. And you'll do all of these things without writing a single line of code. So with that being said, go to this URL, log in, and start building your application. When you log in, by default, the IBM Cloud console shows your existing apps and services. If you've just created an account, you'll see this panel, which helpfully tells you you don't have anything defined. If you do have an account and you've defined some resources already, you'll see this panel instead. Either way, click Create Resource to create an app. What you see here is the service catalog. This lists a number of things that you can create, everything from virtual machines and bare metal servers to identity management services to databases to DevOps tools. What you're going to focus on here is a Cloud Foundry application, so click the appropriately named Cloud Foundry Apps tab on the left. The Cloud Foundry Apps catalog gives you a number of starting points. Each of these has the base infrastructure you need for a particular platform. What you'll be building in this series of videos is a Node app, so click SDK for Node.js. The next step, believe it or not, is the last thing you have to do to create your app. You simply give your app a name as well as a host name. By default, they're the same. That name has to be unique across the IBM Cloud. I called mine DWTV IBM Cloud Intro. You get to be creative and come up with your own name. When you're done, click the Create button. That's all it takes. It will be a couple of minutes while your app deploys, and while your app deploys, here's a quick word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by the Heel and Crown Bun Emporium. Conveniently located near the food court in the Developer Works shopping mall, the Heel and Crown is your one-stop shop for all your bun and roll needs. So be it bagel, boule, or biscuit, challah, hardtack, or hoe cake, if it's bread, it's bound to be found down at the Heel and Crown. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? If you're following along, you may need to pause the video for a minute or two longer while the IBM Cloud wraps things up. I'll wait here. Okay. When the code is deployed, you'll see this Getting Started page, which has lots of useful information about, well, getting started. Most of what's here focuses on the Cloud Foundry command line tools, which we won't cover today. So go to the Overview page. You'll notice there's a green light and the word Running at the top. That's a good thing. There are statistics about our app and the resources it's using. The estimated cost of running this app in its current configuration is 0, also a good thing. But it's about time we looked at our app. Brace yourselves and click the Visit App URL link at the top of the page, and you'll see your app. And there we are. When I do this demo in front of a crowd, I'm often showered in currency and rose petals as part of a spontaneous outpouring of joy by the audience. But just in case your heart isn't racing, let's talk about the two important things that the IBM Cloud just did for you. First, it created your infrastructure. So you have a complete Node.js environment, you have common libraries like Express, and you have a sample application that uses them to display a web page. And second, this application is worldwide. If your chest is swelling with pride and you want to share your joy with friends and relations around the world, wherever they happen to be, they can see this application. It is live on the web. The only thing you had to do to make this happen was think of a name and click the mouse a few times. That's pretty impressive. Now we'll go back to the console and the overview page to enable your app for continuous delivery. To start, scroll to the bottom of the page and click the Enable button. This starts the process of creating a toolchain and a GitHub repo. Once the toolchain is in place, pushing code to the repo starts the toolchain, which builds your app and deploys it if everything goes well. We won't go into any detail here, but you can also configure your toolchain to have multiple steps that integrate different kinds of testing, monitoring tools, and other useful things as part of your continuous delivery process. To keep it simple, just take all the defaults and click the Create button. And while you're waiting for your toolchain to be built, let's look at some pictures of a chair on fire. That was haunting. But what's not haunting is how much work the IBM Cloud just did for you. In addition to the Cloud Foundry app it created already, it's now given you a GitHub repo that's set up to track issues and code changes. You have access to the Eclipse Orion Web IDE if you want to develop your code inside the browser, and you have a delivery pipeline to automatically build and deploy your app whenever you push code into the repo. Before you go, do one more thing. Add a NoSQL database service. Start by clicking on the catalog link at the top of the console. As you saw earlier, the catalog has many types of options. You're looking for databases, so you can click the Data tab and view the choices there. Or you can go to the search bar and type in Cloudant. As you can see, there are some boilerplate apps that contain a Cloudant database, but all you want here is the service. Click Cloudant NoSQL DB to create that service. This page has information about the service itself. Feel free to read through the documentation here, but all you really care about is the pricing plan. You're looking for the Lite plan, also known as the Free plan. That's checked by default, so go ahead and click the Create button. You'll see a brief message when the service is created, then a few seconds later, you're taken back to the management page for your new service. By the way, the system generates a unique name for the service when you create it, so the name on your screen will be different. Whatever it's called, click the Connections tab on the left. Because you just created the service, there aren't any connections, so click the Create Connection button and you'll see a list of your Cloud Foundry applications. Click the Connect button next to your app. You'll get a message that the app needs to be restaged. Go ahead and click the Restage button. You'll see that your app has a status of staging. If you refresh the page, at some point, you'll see your app is up and running again. That sets the stage for what you'll do with this app in the future, but for this video, we'll stop here. There are 3 other videos in this series. All of them take this application one step further. Here's a quick peek at what that application looks like and how it works. You start with a web form. The form is built with Bootstrap, so you have lovely rounded corners and the page is responsive. When a user fills in the form and clicks Submit, your advanced app will take that data, store it in your cloud database, and display a confirmation page. The other videos show you how to build that application in 3 different ways. As a more advanced Cloud Foundry application, building on what you've done here, as a Docker image running inside a Kubernetes cluster via the IBM Container Service, and as an application that handles database access with a microservice running using IBM Cloud Functions. We'll also include a bonus video showing you how to build a flying car using the IBM Cloud platform. That concludes our introduction to the IBM Cloud platform. With very little effort, you were able to create an app, deploy it worldwide, and create infrastructure around that app, such as a GitHub repo, a continuous delivery pipeline, and a NoSQL database. The IBM Cloud lets you focus on writing great code, not on installing and configuring infrastructure. We encourage you once more to get an IBM Cloud Lite account. If you follow the steps covered here, you'll have code you can use as you start to build your own amazing applications. Thanks so much for watching. In addition to the other videos in this series, be sure to check out the Developer Works mailbag page. It contains many videos that show you how to use more features of the IBM Cloud platform. In the meantime, this is Doug Tidwell saying may all your bugs be shallow. Cheers.